Join me as I take on the challenge of living in Bali for just $20 to $50 a day in 2025. Can I really make it work on such a tight budget? Bali, the island of the gods, a tropical paradise that's been on every traveler's bucket list for years. But let's be real, we've all been led to believe that living in Bali is a luxury that only the rich can afford. Well, I'm here to tell you that's just not true. With the right mindset and a few clever tricks, you can live the Bali dream on a shoestring budget. One of the biggest misconceptions about living in Bali is that it's only for digital nomads and expats with deep pockets. But the truth is, the cost of living in Bali can vary greatly depending on your lifestyle and choices. Yes, you can live a life of luxury in Bali, but you can also live a simple life that's just as fulfilling without breaking the bank. I've spoken to many travelers who've given up on their Bali dreams because they thought it was too expensive. But I've also met people who've been living in Bali for months, even years, on a budget that's smaller than you'd think possible. So, what's the secret? How do they do it? Well, that's what we're going to explore in this video. Many people focus on the wrong things when it comes to budgeting for Bali. They worry about finding the cheapest accommodation, the cheapest food, and the cheapest activities. But the problem is, when you focus on the cheapest options, you often end up sacrificing quality and experiencing a watered-down version of Bali. Instead, you should be focusing on finding the best value for your money. Accommodation is often the biggest expense when living in Bali, but it doesn't have to be. You can find apartments and villas that offer great value for money, especially if you're willing to stay outside of the tourist areas. And when it comes to food, you don't have to eat at fancy restaurants to experience the local cuisine. Warungs, or small local eateries, offer delicious and authentic meals at a fraction of the cost. Transportation is another area where you can save a lot of money. Instead of renting a car or taking taxis, you can use local transport like Bimos and Ojeks. And when it comes to activities, you don't have to break the bank to experience the best of Bali. There are plenty of free or low-cost activities like hiking, yoga, and visiting local markets. One of my top tips for saving money in Bali is to learn a little bit of Indonesian. When you can communicate with the locals, you can negotiate better prices, avoid scams, and even make some local friends who can show you the real Bali. Another tip is to avoid the tourist areas and explore the local neighborhoods. You'll find that the prices are lower, the food is better, and the people are friendlier. Another hack is to take advantage of the island's laid-back atmosphere and adopt a more relaxed pace of life. When you're not rushing around, trying to see and do everything, you'll find that you're more mindful of your spending and you're more likely to make conscious choices about where your money goes. And finally, be open to new experiences and try new things. Bali is a place where you can try new foods, learn new skills, and even take up new hobbies. So, can you really live in Bali for just $20 to $50 a day? The answer is yes, but it requires a mindset shift. You need to be willing to adapt, to learn, and to be open to new experiences. You need to focus on finding the best value for your money, rather than just looking for the cheapest options. And most importantly, you need to be willing to slow down and enjoy the ride. In conclusion, living in Bali on a budget is not only possible, but it's also incredibly rewarding. You get to experience the real Bali, away from the tourist traps and crowds. You get to immerse yourself in the local culture, try new foods, and make new friends. And you get to live a life that's truly fulfilling and authentic. Thanks for watching, and if you have any tips or questions, please leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to check out my other videos on travel hacks and budgeting, and I'll see you in the next video.
DreamBaliHomes.com, where your Bali dreams come true.